Hello everybody. Welcome back to another session on Python programming. Today we're going to look into the third style of formatting. And this third style of formatting is today the most popular way of formatting data when it comes to Python. It is so very popular that I have seen this being adopted in the newer versions of C++ as well. So this is not just a simpler way to format and represent the data. It is also an improvement over the performance. That means the time it takes to format and generate the result in this style of formatting is far better than the previous two style of formatting that we had seen. The first one that we had seen was interpolation operator %. The second we had seen a method called as format. So two we had covered, a method called as format and an interpolation operator is what we had seen. Did we discuss string.format? Yes or no?
No, sir. No.
Okay. So we'll look into string.format then first. Now the string.format is not the one that is, what do you say? In terms of performance, there is not much a gain, but definitely in terms of the amount of lines of code that you have to write, there is a gain. One of the biggest disadvantage of using the method called as format was, if there are 3 items to be displayed, we had to call that method 3 times. That was a difficulty. So we want to avoid invoking that particular method repeatedly, invoking that function format repeatedly. To overcome this particular problem of calling that particular function format repeatedly to generate some result, we have string.format method which is there. So now from function, we are coming to method. We had looked at, so don't get confused. We had looked at a function called as format, and now we're going to look at method called as format. Just to help you clarify the doubt, let me just show you the syntax that we are seeing. This was the example that we had taken up earlier. Suppose if I have a number called as 10 that I had to format with a sign, I'll say plus, and this 10 with plus will ensure that plus sign gets displayed and so on. So this is what we had discussed earlier. Okay, so any value that we have to display, I'll call format function. I'll pass the value and the format specifier is what we had seen. So it was a global function called as format. So format here, we specify, give a call to this particular function called as format. You specify the value, then you give the format specifier. So that was the style of formatting. Today, to begin with, we're going to start with another style of formatting, and that is string.format. So this string.format is the third technique of formatting. The one I was talking about speed, where the speed is better, that is the fourth style of formatting that I'll take up later. But first, let's cover up str.format. str stands for string.format. So this is a method, not a function. The earlier one that we had seen was a function. So this new style of formatting that we had seen was a function called as format. Note, understand, this was a function. Function is freestanding. We can directly call function. The item and the format specifier is what we could give. So earlier what we had seen was, it was introduced in Python 3, was a function called as format. And today we are going to discuss a method called as format. A lot of people get confused between these two. It's a method. So I'm going to say string.format. It's a method. It's present only inside the string. And it will take 2 types of parameters. One is positional, other is keyword parameter. Now, when I use the word position, position means the index, the first element, second element, third element. So we can give the index inside this placeholder. These curly braces that you see are very important over here. They're placeholders. And in keyword parameters, we give the key. That means from the list of parameters, I can either give the key value combination, or I can give the index to specify which parameter has to be substituted over there. So 2 types, positional and keyword parameters. When we design our function, there again, we'll look into these positional parameters and keyword parameters again, but we need to understand what this index stands for and what this key stands for. Now, if you look at this example, it says hello, then the placeholder. This curly brace is a placeholder. Your balance is then again a placeholder. Now, there are 2 placeholders that are there. First is this one, and second is this. Now, you need to observe this very carefully. When you talk about this first placeholder that is there, where we have listed over here as something as 0, 0 is the index because these are 2 parameters. This is a 0th parameter and this is the first parameter. inside this method called as format. You may wonder, why am I calling this method? Please note, this is one string, and what we have done is string dot format. So string and then dot format. So inside this class string, there is this method called as format. Now, here this is saying which substitution should happen. So Adam should get substituted over here. So it says hello Adam. Then your balance is 1. That is the second parameter should get substituted over here. But what should be the format for the second parameter? 9 should be the width, 3 should be precision. So total width is 9 and 3 is the precision, number of digits after decimal. So we are going to specify the index, and we are going to specify along with the index the format. But that means here I have given only index, and here I have given index and the format. So which style of formatting is this? It is the first style, positional parameter. Why am I calling positional parameter? Watch it again carefully. In both the cases, I'm specifying the position. I index number 0, index number 1. So that's positional parameters. I could also go ahead with the other technique, which is the argument, keyword argument parameters or keyword parameters. Here I'm saying hello name. And here I have given key value combination. Name is equal to Adam, BLC, that is balance is equal to so-and-so. So I'm saying hello name. So wherever I use this keyword, the value associated with that keyword name, that is Adam, that will get substituted. Here I'm saying balance. What is the value associated with this balance key value? That will get substituted. And then there can be a format associated with that. So that's the style in which we can go ahead with this. The string.format on which this method, the string on which the method can contain a literal or a replacement field placeholders. So these are called as placeholders. These curly braces that we have put across, they are called as placeholders, or we'll also call them as replacement field. But normally people call it as placeholders, where substitution has supposed to take place. Each replacement field, that is a placeholder, contains either a numeric index, just like over here, here is 0 di, that's 1 di, that's the numeric index, or the name of the keyword argument. Like in the second one, we are given the name of the keyword argument, name, BLC. We are given the name of keyword argument. It returns a copy of a string where each replacement field is replaced with the string value of the corresponding argument. That means each replacement field, this will be substituted with its value. This will be substituted with its value. Argument, the order doesn't matter. So if you look at this example, here I have put across a placeholder saying colon. Now I'm not giving the index, correct? So since there is only one argument. So say colon 5D. That means for displaying this number 12, we have 5 column width and D stands for decimal. Now when I put this caret, it means center line. I'm saying colon. I have not put any number on the left hand side of colon because there is only one argument. 10 is the total width and 3 is the precision. So this number will get displayed in 10 column width. In 10 column width with only 3 digits after decimal point. Here I'm saying left align chahiye, 0 5D, blank spaces should be padded with 0. Here we are saying equal to, yani between the sign and the number, the blank spaces should get displayed. So let's look into examples directly. So I'll take you to the code. Any questions before that? If you have, please ask. So let's look at the third style of formatting. Very popular. Introduced in Python 3. Here we go. We say the values are percentage, percentage. Oh, that's interpolation operator, the first style of formatting that we've seen. But now, if I had this percentage, that's the format specifier where substitution has to occur. And we can give only one tuple, one parameter over here. So that's one tuple that we are given. So the first format specifier would get replaced with the first argument. Second will get replaced with the second argument. Oh, that we have already seen. There is nothing new inside it. But if I had to get done using this new style of formatting, how would I do that? I would say, look at this empty placeholder. Now, when it is empty, it is always positional, the order in which it comes. So this is the first placeholder where the first argument will get substituted. This is the second placeholder where the second argument will get substituted. Here, the earlier one has printed, the values are 1 and 2. You will get exactly the same result. The values are 1 and 2 here because the first argument has replaced the first placeholder. The second parameter has replaced the second placeholder and so on. Now I say the values are again the same thing, format 1, 2. But now instead of printing it, I'm assigning it to a variable. So the result of this statement, the result of this statement was directly printed, whereas the result of this statement is assigned to a variable. So it is giving you reusable data. Here you go. And now if I had taken you to the variables, you would have seen this variable result now store the result. So this variable result will store the result of this expression. Now, if I want to print the result, I want to store the result, whatever I want to do. So point is string.format returns the formatted string. So whatever formatted string it has returned over here, that has got assigned to this particular variable. I'll add it as a comment for you to understand. Now here what is happening is there are two parameters for the format method and there are three placeholders. Now if there is a mismatch, it will generate an error. Now what is an error it has generated? Index error, replacement index 2 out of range for positional argument tuple, index 2q, because the first placeholder has been replaced with value 1. The second one has been replaced with value 2. And for the third placeholder, there is no corresponding value. So it will generate an error. So it will not proceed further. So I'll just stop over here since it will generate an error at this particular place. So I'll mark this as comment since this is invalid way to write it. And here I'll put a comment for you to understand what you are doing. Here, string.format returns the formatted string, which is assigned to the variable called as result. So I'll just say str.format returns the formatted string. So it returns the formatted string that gets assigned to this variable, and then whatever you want to do, you can do with that particular string. Now here, there are two placeholders, whereas there are three arguments. Now, if the number of arguments are more than the number of placeholders, that's okay. But if the number of, please make a note of it, a number of placeholders should not be more than the number of arguments. Okay, the number of placeholders should not be more than the number of arguments. So you have two arguments, you cannot have three placeholders. But then if it's other way around, you have more arguments and less placeholders, that's perfectly all right. There is no problem over here. So I jumpstart with that particular statement and let's see what happens. What is the result that we get? We are at line number 18 now, and we run that code. It says value 1 and 2. Okay, that's just okay. I said values are 1, 2, 3. That means index number 0, index number 1, index number 2. This is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So all those three values will get substituted. Values are 1, 2, 3. Now, with interpolation operator, we could specify the format. Now, it is not just about the strings. It's about any kind of value. So I said 10 and 11, 11 and 12. The first format specifier will decide how the first argument is to be displayed. Second will decide how the second one is to be displayed. That's fine. Here it's a position argument. I have not given the format specifier, but it's just plain substitution. 11 will get substituted over here as a string, and 12 will get substituted over here as a string. So it's plain substitution that's happening. 11, 12, and here it was 11, 12. But now, it is not necessary. Now here what is going to happen is when I say this is the first placeholder, that will replace the first argument. This second one will replace the second one, but I want to change the order. That's something very interesting. I could put an index over here now. So the index will specify parameter number 1, argument number 1 should get substituted over here, and argument number 0 should get substituted over here. So I can change the order. Okay, very interesting. So I have 2, 1 is what I have displayed. That was otherwise not possible in the old style of formatting. That was just not possible in the old style of formatting. Let's see what more can we do. Okay, where are we right now? We are at line number 29. Now here there are only two parameters. And here I have given 4 placeholders. That's perfect because we have given the index. So I say 1, 0. 1 matlab 2 and 1 will get printed first. And then 1, 1, that is 2, 2 will get displayed. So it will be like 2, 1, 2, 2. Why is that? Because I have given the index. 1 index is for 2. 0 index is for 1. 1 index for 2 and 1 index for 2. So you can, with this index, okay, positional parameters, you can handle the issue 2, 1, 2, 2. You can repeat the arguments as many number of times. Now here I said 1, 0, 2. So ये 0 है. That will get substituted over here. 1 जहाँ है वहाँ 2 substitute हो जाएगा. But 2 जहाँ है, there is no third argument that we are given. So this would again generate an error. So that's generating an error. But what about the next one? If I go to the next one, what would happen? So let's first mark this as comment. Let's mark this as comment and jump start from line number 32 now. So let's jump to line number 32. We are at line number 32. I say 1, 0, 2. 1 means the second parameter. 0 means the first parameter or argument. And 2 means the third one. So they will get substituted accordingly. Look at this 2, 1, 3. I have a tuple. It's a tuple, huh? Although I'm calling it the record, it's actually a tuple. Round brackets, parenthesis, matlab it's a tuple. So 9 and Raja is the one. So I can pass a tuple. But if I'm passing a tuple, it's a single value it is considering. So if I said 0, 1, and if you are under impression that 9 will get substituted over here and Raja will get substituted over here, that will again create a problem. So it's just not working right. I'm trying to do that and generating an error. So that's not the way to handle a tuple. So if I have a tuple and you wanted the format function to work for tuple, see what is happening. I'm saying 0, 1. I said format rec and DFG. Oh, DFG is the second parameter. Rec is the first one. At the 0th place, the first parameter should get substituted. Now, what is the first parameter? The entire tuple is the first parameter. So how would it handle the situation? Let's see. We are at line number 32. And it says at line number 30, we are at line number 35 now. I should have removed this. Line number 35. So it has printed the entire tuple as one argument and then DFG. But I wanted 9 to be substituted over here and Raja substitute over here. So in that case, I put this star. And we have used this concept even earlier. So when I put the star, the content will get substituted there. That means format 9, Raja. So even otherwise, if I had a single tuple and if I'm going to print the tuple, if I put star, it will give the contents of it. So here the contents of that record will substitute over here. Contents are 9 Raja. So 9 will get substituted at the 0th place and Raja will get substituted at the first place. Watch it, 9 Raja. I could change the order 1, 0. That's Raja 9. Okay, that will get 0, 1, format 9 Raja. This statement and this statement is exactly the same. So when I say star, the content of that particular tuple gets substituted. So this statement and this statement is exactly the same. And this statement and this statement is exactly the same. So result will also be same. So just a blank line and we proceed further. Now till here, it was very simple. We focused only on the index. Okay, and we saw the index can repeat. Okay, the only thing that we have to do, and the order doesn't really matter. We are in total control. Which argument should get substituted, which placeholder, we can just specify the index. But all these places, we are not doing any formatting. Unlike the old style, we could specify the style in which the result has to be displayed. We haven't done that. We have only used the index. That's the positional parameter. Where is the format? Now for format, look at this. I have value 1, 2, 3, 4.56789. That's my value. That's the item that is there. And I'm going to say my value is 0:10.2f. Now 0 is the index. That means the value that is to be substituted. That's the index. 10 is the width specifier. That means to display this result, take 10 column width. 0.2 मतलब digit के बाद सिर्फ 2 ही decimal आना चाहिए. तो 1, 2, 3, 4.57 आ जाएगा because you're going to round up the value. And here it's the same value that will get displayed. Why same value? Index देखो. Index is 0. After index we put a colon. And after colon what will come? Here we had not used colon. That was only the index. Now we are giving the index and then the format specifier. In the format specifier, 15 is the width specifier, 3 is the precision specifier, F is the fixed format. Watch it. Now when we go on to display, here it has displayed the same number in 10 column width, and here it is displaying the same number in 15 column width. The difference are two things. Here I had 3 digits after precision, here I have 2 digits after precision. Look at this, 57 and 568. Okay, we have printed the result. We assigned the result to a variable and then we have printed the result. In the old style, if I have to give the width for a string, say there is a text, there is a string, single value tuple is what we used, modulus operator. So text will get substituted over here, %s, and 10 will specify कि total width 10 चाहिए. ये देखिए 10 width में right hand side को text has got displayed. Oh, you want to do that over here? And you will be wondering why am I putting this pipe? That pipe is just to specify एक width कहाँ से कहाँ तक है. The pipe की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, but just to help you understand कि उसकी total width कितनी दी गई है, I am putting this pipes. So I said pipe braces, that's placeholder, colon. Oh, I have not given the index over here. That means there is only one argument if I'm not giving the index. 10 width. So text will get displayed in 10 width, but towards right. Oh no, it is by default towards left. So difference is the old style of formatting, strings were always right justified, but in the new style of formatting, strings are left justified. That's one big difference. And left justified string is what we normally write, unless you're learning in a Urdu school or something where we start writing from the right hand side. We normally start writing from the left hand side. So we would like to have the data to be left justified. The format dot test is what we have done. This is a format specifier, and it has given width which is 10, which is more than what test requires. Test requires only 4 columns, and you are given 10 column width. ये देखिएगा यहाँ आपने 10 column width में वो test display किया है. The number has the test string has come to the left. In the interpolation operator style, strings were right justified, and now we have strings which are by default left justified. Right चाहिए तो use this notation that will take it to right justification. आपको center चाहिए use caret. देखिए center justified. आपको लेफ्ट जस्टिफाइड चाहिए तो बताइए लेफ्ट, कुछ नहीं कहोगे तो भी लेफ्ट जाने वाला था, बट इफ यू वांट टू एक्सप्लिसिटली से लेफ्ट, सो दिस वाज फॉर लेफ्ट जस्टिफाइड, दिस इज फॉर सेंटर, दिस इज फॉर राइट, एंड नथिंग इज आल्सो फॉर लेफ्ट. नाउ I have a number 555 that I display in 10 column width. Great. Number 555, numbers are right justified, strings are left justified. Note करके देखिएगा. Values, numeric values are right justified. Textual data is left justified by default. That's a default behavior. Please note it. Now here we have a number. I'm saying 10.2f. So for this particular number, the total width that we are allocating is 10 columns. Within that 10 columns, up to 2-digit precision, that means up to 6 ये जो आपका यानी 6, 7 वगैरह print हो जाएगा. That has got displayed. So this was 3 plus 2 5 plus 1 6, and there are 4 spaces that are printed here. Okay. So you want to handle those spaces? That's also possible. That could have also been done. Just by adding some 0 or something like that, we'll do that. Now, I'm again saying 10.10s% test. Oh, that's the old style of formatting. And that's by default, interpolation operator is right aligned. So ये right aligned हो गया. आपको left चाहिए था तो आपको यहाँ dash डालना पड़ता था. That was the old style of formatting. Those who missed out the first session, minus stood for left justified, plus stood for sign specifier. Now here we go. Now I'm saying placeholder :10. That means test will be allocated 10 column width. Test goes to the left hand side. Test goes to the right hand side. Now, if I have test and I want to fill it with some blank spaces, that means ये जो blank spaces है ना, यहाँ fill करना है, कुछ किसी से fill करना है. The output is left justified by default, but I'm going to fill the blank space with hash. देखिएगा test and 5 blank spaces, 3 और 3 6, the 10 hash, 6 hash. Center aligned, यानी 3 लेफ्ट को 3 राइट को. राइट अलाइंड तो पहले हैश एंड देन टेस्ट. नाउ इफ आई से सेंटर अलाइंड 10d एंड आई हैव जिप, तो जिप के लिए 3 चाहिए. 3 कैरेक्टर्स में जिप प्रिंट होगा, 7 स्पेसेस आ जाएंगे. सेंटर अलाइंड लेफ्ट को 3 आ जाएंगे, राइट को 4 आ जाएंगे. ये देखिए लेफ्ट को 3 है और राइट को 4 है, एंड दैट्स डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू टू अंडरस्टैंड. तो विल पुट अ टिल्ड एज अ कैरेक्टर टू फिल. यू विल अंडरस्टैंड. देखो यहाँ 3 टिल्ड है, यहाँ 4 टिल्ड है. So whenever there are unequal number of spaces to be left side will have less space and right side will have 1 space more.
Sir.
Now, %5s xylophone, यानी xylophone में से सिर्फ पहले 5 ही characters मुझे चाहिए. तो xylophone में से xylop आ गया, first 5 characters. You want to do the same thing over here? So it says 0, that's the index. You need not specify that. :0.5. Oh, that will do the magic for you. Okay. Likewise, :0.5 xylophone. Note कीजिएगा, I have not given the index. So when we don't give the index, it's always the 0th one. Yes, Viraj, क्या doubt है?
सर वो जो ऑर्डर है ना, hash and which you put before hash, then arrow and then 10. Can it be written in different fashion? I mean arrow first, then the hash.
No. First will be the fill character, then will be the alignment, and then will be the width space. You cannot change the order.
Okay, sir.
That cannot be done. Here we may give the index, we may not give the index. That's up to us. The result will be the same. Now, here we're saying old style, old style 10.5s, यानी xylophone में से 0.5 यानी 5 ही कैरेक्टर्स चाहिए. टोटल विड्थ 10 चाहिए. देखिए 10 विड्थ में xylophone के अंदर के पहले 5 कैरेक्टर्स और माइनस की वजह से it has come to the left hand side, because by default in the interpolation operator strings for right justified. अब यहाँ आपने -10.5 लिखा है, इसलिए लेफ्ट साइड चला गया. Okay, what would happen if I use string dot format 10.5? Note, I'm not saying s, I'm just saying 10.5 string है ना, तो that will automatically understand. So colon, I'm not specifying the index, that's 0, and then :10.5, total width 10.5, मतलब सिर्फ 5 कैरेक्टर चाहिए. By default left. you could be explicit. Don't rely on this default behavior. Be explicit and say, okay, I'm going to shift the answer towards left. That's better. Answer towards right, but the blank spaces should be filled with hash. Answer towards now value to the right, the blank spaces filled with hash. Answer towards left, the blank spaces should be filled with hash. Yeah, answer to the left, then string to the left, blank spaces filled with hash. Center aligned. Yeah, I guess center aligned. दो left side को spaces और 3 right side को spaces. Now we have done a lot with strings. Let's look at numbers. As person 4D 42 colon, because we had to give a tuple, na? So it's a single value tuple. 42 colon comma is a single value tuple. 4D, that means to display 42, we are going to take 4 column width. So 4 column width mein 42 has got displayed towards right. Numbers in all style of formatting are right justified. Strings in new style of formatting is left justified. In earlier style of formatting was right justified. Now here, I say colon 4D. No sign, no need of percent sign. Na? Colon 4D. Colon के left hand side को आता है index, but since there is only one argument, there is no need for you to specify the index. 4D is width and D is the format specifier. Same result. अब यहाँ दिखेगा, यहाँ आपने लिखा 0, that's a fill character. 6, that's a width specifier. 0.2, that's precision. यानी 2 ही कैरेक्टर चाहिए, 1.4 चाहिए. टोटल width 6 चाहिए, यानी ये तो 3.14 है, ये 6 कॉलम में आना चाहिए. इसका मतलब है there will be 3 more spaces that will be left. But numbers are right justified. तो लेफ्ट साइड को 3 zeros आ जाएंगे. आगे 3 नहीं आए, 2 आए. That's correct because एक डॉट भी एक जगह लेगा. 3.14 4 कॉलम हो गए. तो डॉट ने भी एक जगह कॉलम ले लिया. So 3.14 is 4 columns. Total width 6 कहा था, तो 2 zeros. I could say colon 06. That's interpolation ऑपरेटर से किया था. फॉर्मेट में कैसे करेंगे? ये आपकी स्ट्रिंग है, डॉट फॉर्मेट वही नंबर है, बट मैंने कहा colon 06 to F. And that will do the same magic. Now, I have number 42. With interpolation operator, we are printing the result up to 4 columns with blank spaces padded with 0. देखिएगा, blank spaces padded with 0, 4 column में आ गया. You could do the same thing, colon 04D format 42. That will do the same thing. 0, that's fill character. Greater than, that's right alignment. Or that's anyway by default. 5D यानी 42 के लिए 5 कॉलम बिट दे दो. यहाँ 4 कॉलम बिट थी, तभी 5 कॉलम बिट में आ जाएगा. ये 5 कॉलम बिट में आ गया बाय डिफॉल्ट. नाउ यही नंबर 42 वी आर ट्राइंग टू शिफ्ट टुवर्ड्स लेफ्ट अलाइन. तो लेफ्ट अलाइन करते हैं, नंबर्स आर राइट अलाइन. अभी ये लेफ्ट अलाइन कर लिया, तो ये प्रॉब्लमेटिक है. सो नंबर वाज 42, यू पैडेड द ब्लैंक स्पेस 0 एंड यू हैड अलाइंड दैट नंबर टुवर्ड्स द लेफ्ट. तो नंबर 42 में अभी अपीयर टू समबडी एल्स 42,000. So make sure that you take care when you are padding the blank spaces. अब center line किया तो भी दिक्कत है. तो center line करने पर it will be like 4200, 10 towards left and 20 to right. So be very careful when you are going to do padding. Avoid doing the padding with 0. Avoid doing padding with some other numeric values because that will also create. ये क्या हो गया? 54255. अरे नहीं यार, ये 5 और ये 55 are padding characters. Because यहाँ आपने एक character विराज was asking can we change the order? ऐसा कुछ करोगे तो गलत हो जाएगा. So point is, avoid doing this. What to avoid? Avoid using fill characters as 0 when the alignment is anything other than right. Right को shift है तो left side को 0 आ जाए तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. But right side को 0 आ जाए, that will change the meaning altogether. So better style is like you must have seen on a bank check or a demand draft that you submit during your college admission. You'll find there are asterisks put across before and after the number, so no manipulation can be done on your check and so on. Or hash put up. Do that. So this is a better way to format. Triple hash 42. Okay, hash 42 hash. Or then 42 and triple hash. That's perfectly all right. With interpolation operator, if I say %d, number will get displayed. Minus 42 will get displayed as minus 42. But even if I have plus 42, that would not get displayed as plus 42. Look at this, number 42 has got displayed only as 42. Plus sign did not get displayed with %d. For that, we have to say % plus d. That's the old style of formatting. Plus d. आ गया? Plus d. अरे यार minus 42 कैसे आ रहा है? अरे plus doesn't mean display plus. Plus means display sign. Number negative to negative. Number positive to positive. Same thing we could do with this string dot format by saying colon plus d. Don't use % sign now. Colon plus d. And same two values I want to display. They'll display exactly the same results. Watch it over here now. We are doing alignment for the numbers. I have number 23. I said colon कोलन के लेफ्ट के इंडेक्स आ जाएगा. आई एम नॉट गिविंग इंडेक्स सिंस देयर इज ओनली वन आर्गुमेंट दैट आई एम पासिंग. इक्वल टू मतलब सेंटर अलाइंड, प्लस का मतलब है डिस्प्ले साइन, फाई का मतलब विड्थ है, एंड देन इक्वल टू का मतलब है अलाइनमेंट क्या करना है, जस्टिफाइड है, यानी इक्वल टू विल ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड एंड नंबर विल ऑन द राइट हैंड साइड. बीच में स्पेस आ जाएगा. तो वॉच इट, द स्पेस कम्स इन बिटवीन. कैन यू सी दिस? माइनस ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड and number on the right hand side, space again in between. Now if the number was 23, then plus 23 aa gaya, but space in between, you want to pad that space with 0. Internal spaces can be padded with 0, that's okay. अंदर बीच में 0 आ जाए कोई भी, minus 0023 या plus 0023, that doesn't really matter. I would rather fill it with hash as well. आपको fill character किसी और से भी आप change कर सकते हैं. Now what we had seen were only the index. If you do not specify the index, it's always the first argument. Now we have a dictionary. First is Karan, last name is Singh, and uska first name Karan hai, last name Singh hai. I say %, that's the name that we're giving in interpolation operator, and we'll have a better way to do that. I'm saying first S and % last S %data. That's what we had done during the first session. Now the result has got displayed. Karan Singh has got displayed. But instead, what I could do is I could say first and last format ** data. Now with the dictionary, when I say ** data, I will take the values which are present inside the dictionary, and this first will act as a key. Key kiska? Karan ka. Last will act as a key. Kiska? Ye dictionary ka. So data jo dictionary ke andar hai, its value will get substituted. Watch it, Karan Singh again. Now here I could pass the argument in this fashion. Key value I can also pass. Instead of passing a dictionary, I can pass key value. Key is first and key is last. Karan is value for this key and Singh is value for this last key. And here I have used the keyword argument. Same result. Now here I am giving the keyword and then the format as well. तो मैंने कहा लास्ट नेम यहाँ प्रिंट होना चाहिए, यानी ये लास्ट नेम क्या है, सिंह यहाँ प्रिंट होना चाहिए. ब्लैंक स्पेसेस टू बी पैडेड विथ हैश, राइट अलाइन चाहिए और विथ 10 चाहिए. फर्स्ट नेम में भी फर्स्ट लेफ्ट हैंड साइड को चाहिए, एंड ब्लैंक स्पेसेस टू बी पैडेड विथ हैश. देखते हैं, ये आ गया राइट अलाइन, ये आ गया लेफ्ट अलाइन, एंड दोनों जगह ब्लैंक स्पेसेस हैव बीन पैडेड विथ हैश. नाउ वी आर सेइंग लास्ट नेम टू गो टुवर्ड्स राइट, फर्स्ट नेम गोes towards left, and format ** data. Same thing, same result. Now we could store the result into a variable, and what to do with that variable is totally your choice. You can print it, you want it in uppercase, you can get it in uppercase, whatever you would like to do. I have a number and I say %b, b stands for binary. That means the number has got decimal binary format. I say #b, अरे number 64 मतलब 100 ही है, binary format. Person has O, and octal format में आ जाएगा. D मतलब decimal format में आ जाएगा. तो you have total control. Your parameter का ये value कोई भी type में दिया रहे आपने. B means display in binary format. #b का मतलब है display in binary format but along with base. कोई ऐसा देगा number तो कोई सोचेगा it's like 11 lakh and 100 rupees. That shouldn't happen. So always display base before it. So this hash plays before numeric format specified like B, O, D, X displays the base. Base कैसे? Binary के लिए 0b, octal के लिए 0o, और hexadecimal के लिए 0x. I should have added hex value also demonstration over here. तो एक hex भी add कर लेते हैं line number 163 पे. I'll remove this breakpoint because वही एक रह गया. Why not add that as well? 163 यहाँ थे. So let's display the value with hexadecimal format as well. तो ये आपका I'll say %#x, और आपका नंबर अपने डेसिमल फॉर्मेट में दिया रहेगा तो भी चलेगा, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, whatever format you may have given. So let's jump onto this line directly. Let me save this file and jump onto that particular line. We are here at line number 164. We print it. आ गया 0x64 hexadecimal format, while the parameter was in decimal format. Now decimal format 100, your choice. I'm using date time. I had asked you to explore the module called as date time in the previous session. Okay, and that was and I'll be doing the same thing. Like whatever modules I expect you to see, you should see it, and then whenever required, I'll be using it, assuming that you have gone through whatever I told you. So we are importing date time, and this is date time: year, month, day, hour, minute, seconds. So it's 2021, 12 hours, 1 minute, 20 seconds. A day, month, year, month, day, आर मिनट सेकेंड 2021 12th month first day 8:51 and 58 seconds. What a coincidence. आज भी 8:55 है and the day when I wrote this code was 8:51. क्या coincidence है, 4 मिनट का difference है. Okay, here we go. So we are having a date. Regular date print करते हैं, तो it got printed in this fashion. This is the date and this is the time. You want to control the style? Yeah. %y, %m, %d, y in capital, m and d in small case, and then I pass this date. So how will it be? It says 2021 0, and it has displayed only the year, month, and day. How about seconds? How about month? In month की जगह minutes. If I give capital M, it's for minute. If I give small m, it's for month. Now I say R, month, and second from the date. We will get only the R, month, and R, minute, and second. R, minute, and second. 20, 51, 58. Okay. So we could control what is to be displayed. You can create your own styles. How? I say date time dot now. अभी का time मिलेगा, आज का. Date and time दोनों. And I'm saying %y. Y is for year. %h. Now h we had seen was for R. But this is small h. Okay. So what will the difference be? Small h will display probably it in words, the month and the day, and then R, minute, second. Let's see how does it display. It says 2023 in July in words 18, and 18 July to 23, 20, 56, 38. Great. So small h to display the month in words, but in 3 letters. July नहीं आया पूरा, JUL आ गया. Now today, now था उसमें date भी आएगा. Today is what I'm using. Today will not have date. It will not have time. It will only have the date. So I'm saying R, month, and %y. H we know is the month. D we know it's a day. Y we know it's a year. So it is displayed July. That's 3 letters. H, 18, 23. You can create your own style. Now I have time. That is 5 hours, 15 minutes, and 56 seconds. तो ये आपका टाइम है. तो अगर आप टाइम प्रिंट करो तो 5 hours, 16 minutes, and 56 seconds. आप चाहे तो R, मिनट, सेकेंड जो स्टाइल चाहिए, डैश डालना है, क्या करना है वो आप करिए. By default colon था. You want to change the style, you can do it. Not just that, we can play around with numbers, and we have been struggling with numbers earlier. So I have a number called as 10,000. No, it's not 10,000. It's a huge number. And when number of zeros or more, it becomes difficult for anybody to read. तो अगर ऐसा अमाउंट डिस्प्ले किया तो भी जीरो की वजह से बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है. In real world life also, we put a comma, 1000 separator. I can say format %:d, comma d. So when I say comma d, 1000 separator आ जाएगा. It becomes easy to read the numbers. I may not even say D, it's a decimal format. It will automatically know. It will still handle that thing. It's a comma that is for the 1000 separator is what we can give for the amount as well. So you could, and currency, so we know how to display. You don't even have to say rupees. There are other ways to handle the currency as well. But then the 1000 separator हमने डाल दिया by default, comma कहने पर 1000 separator commas will get added at the 1000 place by default. Yes, Monica, what's the question? Monica, what's the question?
Sir, the data. Hello.
Line number?
Line number नाही आहे सर. जेव्हा तुम्ही डिक्शनरी मध्ये दाखवत होतात ना, कीज आणि व्हॅल्यूचं फॉर्मॅटिंग.
Here.
हा. तिथे डेटाच्या आधी 2 वेळा ऍस्ट्रिक वापरले. ते 2 हे आहेत म्हणून 2 वेळा वापरलं का ऍस्ट्रिक?
नाही. Whenever you want to see the content, you want to have this the dictionaries का contents to be substituted at that place, always you have to say **d. It's not just for that. In the regular fashion, अगर ये मेरी dictionary है, this is dictionary, and if I want to print this data, it is printed in this fashion, and I print **, see what is happening? It is generating an error. If I print 1 star, what will happen? It is giving you only the keys, correct? ये keys आ रहे हैं. Okay, so if I say star data, you're getting only the keys. यहाँ मुझे keys नहीं चाहिए, मुझे explode करना है, उसका key value दोनों चीजें substitute होना चाहिए. So if I'm using this method format and we want key and value, इस तरीके से all the things to be considered, we'll have to put **. अगर आपके पास list है कोई, list में कोई तो values है, ये numbers के values है, and अगर n is equal to क्या हुआ? अरे ये मुझे debugging stop करना होगा. मेरे पास एक list है. लिस्ट में वैल्यूज है, एंड इफ आई से प्रिंट द लिस्ट, यू विल गेट टू सी इट्स अ लिस्ट. स्क्वायर ब्रैकेट में आ रहा है. लिस्ट के अंदर के कंटेंट चाहिए, स्टार डालिएगा. without the brackets and the comma. अभी ये list वगैरह कुछ ये नहीं पता चलेगा ये क्या है, it's a list या क्या है. देखो यहाँ bracket थे. Along with this, regular print statement के जो बाकी features आप use कर सकते हैं, comma, separator is equal to, separator is equal to, अगर आपको comma चाहिए comma, hash चाहिए hash, वो जो चाहिए आप कर सकते हो. But यहाँ dictionary substitution करना है अगर आपको, तो आपको यहाँ 2 स्टार डालना होगा, not a single star.
ओके सर.
And list substitution चाहिए तो single star. List, tuple, उनको substitute करना तो single star. tuple भी किया था ना कहीं या नहीं किया tuple? ये देखिए सिंगल स्टार एंड डिक्शनरी है तो 2 स्टार. सिंगल स्टार लोगे तो ओनली कीज विल गेट सब्स्टिट्यूटेड. हमें की नहीं चाहिए, की वैल्यू चाहिए, ऐसे चाहिए की एंड द वैल्यू, की एंड द वैल्यू, नहीं तो सिर्फ कीज आ जाएंगे. हाँ, वन थिंग यू कुड डू इज, डिक्शनरी में अगर आपने कुछ ऐसा कहा होता इस स्टेटमेंट में, इंडेक्स लिया होता, ओके, कुछ ऐसा कहा होता और 1 स्टार डालते, इट विल नॉट जनरेट एन एरर. अगर मैं यहाँ प्लेस होल्डर ना दूं या दे दूं 0 and 1, तो इन दैट केस व्हाट वुड हैपन इज 0 की जगह आपका फर्स्ट आ जाएगा और 1 की जगह आपका लास्ट आ जाएगा. लेट्स सी, डिबग इट एंड सी वैसा होता है क्या. वी आर एट दैट लाइन, ये आ गया फर्स्ट एंड लास्ट, ओनली द कीज.
Yes.
So I don't want only the keys, I want the contents to be taken care. Dictionary के लिए तो you'll have to put 2 stars to explore the dictionary. Any other question? Have you all understood this quick feedback?
सर
बोलिए.
सर अगर डिक्शनरी के अंदर लिस्ट होगी तो फिर वो मेथड से
डिक्शनरी
पूरी
के अंदर लिस्ट क्या होगी? लिस्ट विल बी द वैल्यू.
ओके ओके
डिक्शनरी के अंदर लिस्ट विल नेवर बी द की, बिकॉज़ की हैव टू बी इम्यूटेबल.
यस सिर्फ फिर पूरी की पूरी लिस्ट प्रिंट होगी ना.
पूरी की पूरी लिस्ट प्रिंट हो जाएगी.
Yes.
Any other question, anybody? Okay, I'll just quickly share this exam file for your reference. I'm sharing all the 3 files, that 3 examples that were taken. So if anybody was absent earlier, they can have reference to all the 3 examples that were taken up earlier. So have you received all the 3 examples?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now that should take us to the most advanced style of formatting, and that's called as, actually technically it is formatted string literals, but nobody calls it as formatting string literals. Everybody calls it as fast string. Result for calling it as fast string is but obvious, it works really fast. Okay. Piyusha, क्या doubt है? Piyusha, you have a doubt? Piyusha, what's the doubt? Piyusha, are you there? So let's move on to the last, not last, actually there's one more style of formatting which is there, but अभी काफी हो गए, 3 ले लिए, and the latest one is version 3.6 introduced the latest way of formatting. And what I was talking about, even the new languages or the new versions of C++ has also adopted Python style of formatting, because it has become very popular with the moment it was introduced. So we are going to look at one of the most popular style of formatting, a recent introduction to Python. Python 3.6 introduced a new style of formatting called as formatted string literal, but people call it as fast string. Okay, it works really fast, and I can provide you proof of it. Does it really work fast? Therein we'll look at one more module called as time it. have you learned time? Have you used time it earlier?
No, sir.
नहीं. तो टाइम देखा है हमने, डेट टाइम देखा है. आज अगर प्रूव करना है हमें कि दिस टेलर फॉर्मेटिंग वर्क्स फास्टर, देन और एक मॉड्यूल देखेंगे कॉल्ड एज टाइम इट. एंड टाइम इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बिकॉज समझो कल ना पृथ्वीराज comes with an implementation, कौस्तुभ comes with an implementation, and both the codes are almost of same size. फिर हमें चेक करना है किसका कोड हम लोग अडॉप्ट करें. In that case, you can run the code and see which one is faster. और you may say, sir, code क्या enter मारने पे result आ जाता है. We cannot even check how it runs fast, which one is running faster. So you want to clock the time to milliseconds, nanosecond तो देखना है कौन सा code fast run कर रहा है. Time it is a module that we can use. So now you are joining a company, and there they have told you they have to test the code. So when you invoke a method and you want to test, that means Python is well known for these kind of aspects. If they ask you, "Arey, jara test karke dekho ye kaise behave kar raha hai," there are a lot of bottlenecks. Bottlenecks means some scenarios, the same function which was working good earlier now doesn't work. Give you that. So there is always an just say when you make a request to a bank or to somebody, you have a turnaround time. You expect the result to be arrived in within 1 day, 4 days, 3 days, whatever it is. So likewise, in a programming also, when you write a function, that function may be giving you the right answer, but there is always, we expect it to have a turnaround time. That means I'm not getting the right word for it, but the amount of time in which it should give you the result, that is what is expected. It should work within 1 second, 1 millisecond, whatever may be the case. Only then it is acceptable. Otherwise, that code is not acceptable if it doesn't run in a given time band. So Python script can be written, and between that, in the Python script, you can invoke that particular method. So it will clock the time and actually give you the time. Rather than last time, what we had done was that subtraction of time we had done in the game time, that guess the number में हमने time subtract वगैरह किया था, monotonic time लिया था, and then we subtracted the time, the start time and end time. ये सब कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है. Time it module will time it for you. And so a lot of time in testing purposes, this module is very popularly used. But let's not talk about time it right now. I'll again discuss in detail time it. But in case if I don't do it, note करके रखिएगा time it, TIMEIT. That's one more interesting module that you could explore. अगर आज वहां तक नहीं आ रही या अगर हम performance check करें तो, otherwise we don't need it right now because our focus right now is formatting of data. So let's move towards the most popular style of formatting introduced in Python 3.6. That's formatted string literal. Let's begin with that. Now, don't get bored. The things that we'll be doing will be the same results, but newer way. Do not form an opinion now कि कोई भी technique use किया तो चलेगा. Display के लिए कोई भी चलेगा, but अभी display भी formatted style में चाहिए, and आपको results fast भी चाहिए, and a performance plus the style of formatting that we like to have. Think about formatted string literals. But this is not available in the older versions of Python. It is not backported like the format method was backported to Python 2.7. ये backported नहीं है. That means version 3.6 onwards ही support करेगा. पुराने version में this will not work. Let's do it. So we have formatted string literal or F string. So F strings are string literals that have F at the beginning and curly braces containing the expression that will replace with their respective values. यानी string ही है, but string की शुरुआत में F डालना है आपको. Looks like there is some network issue. And I was thrown out of the meeting. I wonder how. Let's continue. We're discussing this. Now in this formatted string literal, suppose name is Bob. I say F. Okay, that's the formatted string literal. I have hello, comma, note कीजिएगा, placeholder में name. Now, it's not like I have to pass it over here as a parameter. Wherever earlier there is a variable name, its value will get substituted over here. And instead of name, I can have an expression that means name dot to upper, name dot upper, name dot lower, name dot capitalize, whatever I would like to do, I can do it over here. So that's the basic syntax how you can use it. F, then your string, note कीजिएगा, string यहाँ code से start हो रहा है, यहाँ code पे खत्म हो रहा है, that's a string literal. अंदर आपने लिखा hello, comma, and name. Don't have to say dot something again, the parameters. Hey, the variable is there, its value will get substituted. The hello Bob करके उसकी value has got substituted over here. Its syntax is simple. I can just say F, hello, name, dot, then dot में खत्म ही करना है मुझे, जैसे hello Ramesh dot, you are 74. अरे name, age, these were earlier variables. So hello name, the value of name variable will get substituted. You are age का value will get substituted. And you can do formatting as well over here, if I really want. F can appear in small case, जैसे यहाँ है, या F can appear in uppercase. That doesn't really matter. But everybody uses small case, so we'll also use small case F. That doesn't matter. You can pass an expression. Look at this. I say 5 plus 10 is A plus B. So the placeholder can have an expression. A plus B, A and B are two integer variables. The expression ka result will get printed and not 2 into A plus B. So 5 plus 10 is 15 and not 30. The expressions can be given. Large expression, A plus B. Here I'm saying 2 into A plus B. So a placeholder can have mathematical expressions, string expressions, any kind of expressions. You can also call functions like Tiger Shroff is a name. I say F name dot lower is funny. So Tiger Shroff is funny. Note T is small and S is small now. The entire word is funny. You can also go with multi-line strings for formatting. So you have a message. I say, hi name, your profession is so-and-so, your affiliation is so-and-so. Don't worry about this because I'm going to show you 3 different ways to do it. And F, all of them are formatted string literals. Name में लीला print हो जाएगा, your profession में professor print हो जाएगा, your affiliation में Pune University. So hello Leela, you are a professor, you are in University of Pune or Pune University, इस तरीके से print हो जाएगा. And I'll tell you about it. And the other important thing is it's very fast. So people call this F string as fast strings as well, but actually it's not F fast string, it's formatted string literal. And then I'll show you how to handle the quotation marks, backslash, कैसे handle करना है, dictionaries को कैसे manage करना है. Let's jump ahead with example rather than going through it. So let's directly jump into the example. There are a lot of interesting things to look at. So let me take the 4th style of formatting. So एक काम करेंगे, 5 discuss कर लेंगे, 4 कर लिए तो एक में केवल रुकना है. I'll discuss all the 5 style of formatting. And no new other style of formatting has been introduced since that. Let's begin with the style of formatting. Let me first run this program and see there is something going wrong. I don't see anything wrong in this shebang. Looks all right. It looks right. Copy paste करने को भी मिलती है.
Sir, commented है.
Always commented. 116 पे कोई error है. 116. Okay. Error कहीं और था. Okay. So it's a script. In the script, there was some error somewhere down. So it was telling us right at the beginning. And I was wondering, kya galat hai. Anyway, let's start from line number 8. Name is equal to Ramesh, age equal to 45. So that's the data. That's the data. And this is the formatted string literal that we are using. The result is again assigned to this variable called as result. So I say F, hello, colon, placeholder mein name, your age. Okay. So when you write such a statement, what's going to happen over here? Hello is like template text. UR is a template text. Or yeah, full stop UR is a template text. These are two placeholders within which I use some variable names. Not necessarily that I have to pass them as a parameter just after this. The previously created variables, its value will get substituted over here. Let's do it. We don't have to pass those as a parameter, and the result will automatically get substituted. So hello Ramesh, you are 45. I have A and B. I say F A into B. But this is just one placeholder where only value of A will get displayed. That's another placeholder, only value of B will get displayed. And here is an expression saying A into B. Watch it. 6 into 5, 5 into 6 is equal to 30. And now I use capital F, doesn't matter. A plus B, but this plus is not a part of the expression, it's just a text. When that plus appears in this placeholder, then it will act as an operator. So A plus B, 5 plus 6, that is 11. There is a 5 plus 6 equal to 11. So I have Tiger Shroff, that's a string. I display it, it displays Tiger Shroff as it is. I say tiger name dot lower, I can use function call, that's also an expression. Name dot upper, that's also an expression. So if a Tiger Shroff is funny and Tiger Shroff is funny, but note here lower case mein ya upper case mein. Point that I'm trying to make is there can be an arithmetic expression or there can be a string expression, any kind of expression which will get evaluated and the result will get substituted at that particular place. Now we have Leela Patil, age 27, professor at University of Pune. These are all variables. Now watch this very carefully. This will help you understand why the latest style of formatting is much better. I'm going to display the expected result using the first style of formatting which is present in Python earliest version. That's interpolation operator, that is %. So if I have to display this result as a part of the string and I'm going to use interpolation operator, look, this is the kind of effort that we'll have to put in. And let's say hello, %s, you are %d and you are a %s. Now what happens is the result will correctly get and you are member of %s. That's okay. At the first %s, first name will get displayed, second %s, last name will get displayed, %d, age will get displayed, %s, profession will get displayed, and last %s, affiliation will get displayed. Now if it so happens, या %d की जगह अगर आपने profession डाल दिया, it will fail because profession as a professor cannot be displayed in decimal point. So you have to correctly match. %s के साथ string ही चाहिए, %d के साथ integer ही चाहिए, %s के साथ दोबारा string ही चाहिए. It is very difficult to keep a track, especially when number of parameters goes on increasing. But it will give you the result. Not that we cannot do it. So watch it. It will generate the result. All these 4 variables are created and it will generate the result. Let's print this result. It says, hello, Leela Patil. You are 27. You are a professor. You are a member of University of Pune. The result has correctly got displayed. Now, result has got displayed. That's okay. But the way we are writing it and to keep a track, to match this format specified with the corresponding argument, you have to be very, very careful. So comes string.format. String.format, आज जो पहले देखा हमने, तो आपकी string या index दिया आपने 0 to 1, 0 मतलब first name, 2 मतलब last name, 1 मतलब age, 3 मतलब profession, and 4 मतलब affiliation. अरे यार ये index कौन याद रखेगा? ये 0 है या ये 1 है, वहीं से problem शुरू हो जाता है. First name 0 hai, age 1 hai, it becomes difficult. But this is at least better than this %. That means you can at ease write the parameters in any order, and then you can see हाँ यहाँ क्या चाहिए, जो index जो argument substitute करना है उसका index आप देख सकते हो. That's string dot format. That technique they are looking at, the technique that we started off today. तो ये आ गया स्ट्रिंग डॉट फॉर्मेट से ये आंसर प्रिंट हो जाएगा, डोंट वरी। ये आ गया, हेलो लीला कुलकर्णी, you are 30, you are a professor, you are a member of University of Pune. Now, if I don't have to write this one below other, one after another, and if the order becomes difficult to read, I can say hello, keyword argument, hello f name. Oh, format may also we can use keyword argument. F name matlab first name, age, last name, profession, affiliation, जो भी रहेगा. So I'm saying now, हेलो एफ नेम में क्या है, फर्स्ट नेम नाम का मेरा वेरिएबल है जिसका वैल्यू लीला है, एज का वैल्यू 30 है, लास्ट नेम का वैल्यू कुलकर्णी है, प्रोफेशन प्रोफेसर है, एफिलिएशन यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ पुणे, या वेरिएबल नेम दी थी मैंने, यू कुड आल्सो यूज द कांस्टेंट्स, सो दैट विल जस्ट मेक इट स्लाइटली मोर इजी टू रीड. हाँ, एंड नो कि है ना फर्स्ट नेम प्रिंट होना या लास्ट नेम प्रिंट होना या एज प्रिंट करना, बट द प्रॉब्लम इज वी अगेन हैव टू स्पेसिफाई ऑल दोस पैरामीटर्स, दैट्स द डिफिकल्टी. बट ये पहले से तो अच्छा है, एटलीस्ट क्या सब्सिट्यूट हो रहा है पता चलेगा. And hello Leela Kulkarni, you are 30, you are a professor, you are a member of University of Pune. But the point was, these variables are already created. But just because you plan to substitute their values over here, these are the variables: first name, age, last name. We gave some keywords to it, and those keywords were used over here for substitution purpose. You want to avoid this trouble of repeating the text. Okay, watch it. Hello, first name, last name. You are age plus 1, expression चाहे तो 30 plus 1, 31. You are a profession and your affiliation is affiliation.title. खत्म, F string. Don't have to worry about अरे वो first name supply करना है तो अरे वो जो first name variable है उसकी value यहाँ आ जाएगी, last name जो variable उसकी value यहाँ आ जाएगी, age जो है उसकी value यहाँ आ जाएगी. Don't worry about it. Watch it. Here you will get the result. Don't worry. आ गया. Hello Leela Kulkarni, you are 31, you are a professor, you are a member of University of Pune. The result has got substituted. Whatever you would like to have. So it's actually very easy to handle that situation. It's actually very easy to handle the situation. The way we are handling this is making it far more easy to work with. Okay. So use this. Look at that. Now, first name डालना है, variable names है सारे. So the substitution for those variable names will happen over here automatically. You don't have to bother about it at all. यार ये अभी क्या करें, यहाँ कैसे वो डालें, कुछ सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है. It will automatically get substituted over here. So it's a good style of formatting which is there. Look at this. No parameters applied, nothing. Variables है ना, तो उनकी value आ जाएगी. Plus multi-line string. Multi-line string. ये भी तो multi-line था. यहाँ आपने double quotes डाला, but it did not got displayed in double quote. ये तो एक string के जैसे आ गया. It just continued as if it's a single string. आपको ये multiple lines में ही चाहिए. तो ऐसे hello, first name, last name, you are a profession, you are a title. बट स्लैश डाला तो ये कंटिन्यूएशन है, ये पता चल जाता है. ओके, तो लेट्स सी. बट द डिफरेंस इज इफ आई एम गोइंग टू यूज स्लैश, देयर इज नो नीड फॉर मी टू पुट दिस पैरेंथेसिस. व्हेन यू पुट अक्रॉस ए एक्सप्रेशन अक्रॉस मल्टीपल लाइंस, यू विल हैव टू पुट दिस पैरेंथेसिस. ये पैरेंथेसिस डालना जरूरी है. बट अगर पैरेंथेसिस नहीं डालना है तो ये स्लैश डालना जरूरी है. कंटिन्यूएशन देखो, यहाँ पे आपने कंटिन्यूएशन डाला था, यहाँ भी कंटिन्यूएशन के लिए डाला था. सो दोस कंटिन्यूएशन कैरेक्टर्स हैव टू बी यूज्ड. लेट्स डू दैट. ये आपने कंटिन्यूएशन कैरेक्टर यूज कर लिया, प्रिंट कर लिया. हेलो लीला कुलकर्णी, यू आर अ प्रोफेसर, you were in Pune University. But then I want it to be displayed on multiple lines. I don't want to use this continuation character. And ये जो continuation character वो यूज नहीं करना है मुझे. तो F string डालिएगा, F लिखिएगा, and then put slash. और ये तो हमने यहाँ भी किया था, isn't it? Formatting without parenthesis. तो without parenthesis तो continuation character यूज करो. ये रिपीटेशन हो गया, बट एनीवे ये आ गया. हेलो लीला को, यू आर अ प्रोफेसर, यू आर इन यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ पुणे. नाउ लेट अस टॉक अबाउट व्हाई वन शुड गो इन फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर मॉड्यूल. आई टोल्ड यू this particular concept not just is simpler to use, easy to read, but it also works faster. Comes in a module called as TimeIt. So let's first have a look at this module called as TimeIt. So let's open up python.org. Let's go to Python doc. Python doc. Let's go to TimeIt. Here. Okay, this module provides a simple way to time small bit of Python code. यानी कोई एक फंक्शन कॉल है, पूरे प्रोग्राम नहीं, कोई फंक्शन कॉल है. यू कैन कीप इट माइंड, टेस्टर्स यूज दिस वेरी ऑफन. small piece of code है और उसको आपको command line से या programmatic line, I'm going to show you programmatically, later I'll show you how to do it in command line as well. तो command line से हो या programmatically हो, you would like to time a small bit of Python code. तो छोटा सा Python code है, उसको आपको test करना है, how much time it takes. In that case, or any callable is there, you would like to time it, you can always go in for module called as time it, measures execution time of a small code snippet. Keep that thing, small code snippet. Time it dot time it statement जिसका परफॉर्मेंस आपको चेक करना है. अब ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, सेटअप, टाइमर, नंबर, ग्लोबल. From this, let's not talk about the default timer कौन से लेने, क्यों लेने, let's not talk about it, let's talk about this number. Now what happens is, if I'm just going to print good morning, print good morning will hardly take any time to print. So how will you understand कि उसने total time कितना लिया? It will say ... 0.00000 millisecond में हो जाएगा. Now that's very difficult for us to time. So in that case, the number specifies if this operation was done, in this case, how many time you need 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, lakh, 10 lakh. That means if that operation, if that function was called 10 lakh times, because machines work very fast. तो दो कोड को आपको कंपेयर करना है, तो नैनो सेकंड में कंपेयर करने से अच्छा उसको वही कोड अगर 10 लाख बार रिपीट किया जाए, then how much time will it take? Then you will have substantial differences that we can actually see. मेजर करने के लिए आसान हो जाएगा. So this number will specify how many times this code snippet will get executed. That or to execute this code snippet, these many number of times, how much time will it take? Okay, just to begin. Then you can say repeat it 5 times. Means what? This statement, the execution for 10 lakh times, repeat it 5 times. So that's how we can do. Okay. Default value for repeat has changed from 3 to 5. 3.7 में पहले 3 बार repeat करता था by default, अब 5 बार repeat करेगा by default. Then आप timer change कर सकते हैं. हमने last time timing के लिए monotonic लिया था या preference counter है. You can just change the timer that like to have. जो timer आपको add करना है वो आपको add कर सकते हैं. Number is वो हमने देखा था auto range. Repeat का value है repeat 5 times. This thing and so on. So that was a very basic introduction. Just good enough introduction for you to begin with. But keep in mind, all developers use it. Java developer की भी इसकी जरूरत है, C++ developer की इसकी जरूरत है, सारे testers की इसकी जरूरत है. Time it kind of module, very nice module, especially when there is a code snippet which is very small and you would like to test it. Think about module called as time it. So let's begin. I have my statement, name Johnny, age 74. Percentage, percent D, percent. अरे ये क्या है? ट्रिपल कोट्स याद है? मल्टीलाइन स्ट्रिंग. ये मल्टीलाइन स्ट्रिंग, कोई स्लैश नहीं, कोई नहीं, मल्टीलाइन स्ट्रिंग. 3 डबल कोट्स या 3 ट्रिपल कोट्स मींस मल्टीलाइन स्ट्रिंग. तो मल्टीलाइन स्ट्रिंग में क्या है? नेम इज इक्वल टू जॉनी, एज इक्वल टू 74, यानी दो वेरिएबल्स क्रिएट किए. परसेंट एस, परसेंट डी, यानी परसेंट एस में नेम प्रिंट करेंगे, परसेंट डी में उसका एज प्रिंट करेंगे. करेक्ट? So that's my statement. This statement has 2 variables and a formatted data. Formatted क्या है? नाम और एज प्रिंट करना है सिर्फ, बस ये सिंपल सा स्ट्रिंग है. नेम एंड स्ट्रिंग टू एंड इंटरपोलेशन ऑपरेटर का इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं. एंड आई से टाइम इट डॉट टाइम इट स्टेटमेंट इज इक्वल टू माय स्टेटमेंट. दैट मींस दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टेटमेंट ऑफ क्रिएशन ऑफ 2 वेरिएबल्स एंड फॉर्मेटिंग एंड प्रिंटिंग इट स्मॉल कोड है. दिस विल नाउ गेट एग्जीक्यूटेड 10 लाख टाइम्स. तो 10 लाख टाइम्स अगर ये एग्जीक्यूट करता है तो इसे कितना समय लग रहा है, दैट इज व्हाट वी विल चेक. So it has called that thing, it's taking some time. Oh, I should come out. Okay, how much time it took using interpolation operator to execute the statement 10 lakh times? It took 1.20 seconds. That means pretty fast, isn't it? But that's the time it has taken. So now instead of that, I use string.format. Look at this: name, age, placeholder 0 में नेम आ जाएगा, 1 में एज आएगा, डॉट फॉर्मेट, दैट मींस स्ट्रिंग डॉट फॉर्मेट, जो आज टेक्निक देखा हमने. वी कुड हैव यूज्ड मेथड कॉल्ड एज फॉर्मेट आल्सो. लेट्स डू दैट, क्योंकि हमें 3 टेक्निक, चौथा टेक्निक देख रहे हैं हम लोग, तो लेट्स यूज दैट एज वेल. तो मैं वो भी कॉल करता हूँ. लेट्स टेस्ट दैट कोड एज वेल. तो क्यों ये करें, इसके बाद हमने वो स्ट्रिंग डॉट फॉर्मेट यूज किया था. तो स्ट्रिंग डॉट फॉर्मेट के पहले हमने फॉर्मेट मेथड, फॉर्मेट फंक्शन कॉल किया था. तो लेट्स यूज फॉर्मेट फंक्शन टू डू दैट ऑपरेशन. Instead of percent s, I'll say format. Name as percentage is format. Age as percentage.
सर
बोलिए।
ये कहाँ स्पेसिफाई किया है कि 10 लाख टाइम्स रन होगा?
हाँ, ओके। 10 lakh times repetition is the default.
ओके।
अगर आप नहीं बता तो 10 लाख बार होगा। आपको 20 लाख करना है तो बताइए, आपको 5 लाख बार करना है तो बताइए जरूर. But by default, it will repeat 10 times. That's a default value for that repeat parameter. Repeat नहीं, number parameter. वो default value है. By default वो उतनी बार repeat करेगा. Let's look at this format. यहाँ %d था. Okay, same thing we're trying to use. So here I should say ये format है और ये भी format है. So let's jump start from here, and so that we'll know what we'll do is we'll directly jump to this line. No, we'll directly jump to this line, so we know how much time it has taken. So let's debug. Okay, so the first time it took 1.35 seconds. अब ये वाला जो time it है, this has taken double quotes, कुछ unterminated double quotes कहाँ start किया, double quotes खत्म नहीं किया मैंने. Name is equal to Johnny, age was 74, format name %s, is format age %d. Line number 4 पे error आ रहा है. जैसे format check. Stop debugging. Let me see what is that I've done wrong.
सर वो सिंगल कोड से एंड नहीं हो रहा 101 पे.
नहीं, वहां नहीं दिक्कत. 101 पे सिंगल कोड स्टार्ट ही नहीं करना है. एंड की क्या बात है, स्टार्ट ही नहीं करना है, एक कोड ज्यादा हो गया. मल्टी लाइन स्ट्रिंग है ना, तो ये यहाँ स्टार्ट होगा और यहाँ खत्म होगा. You don't have to have any codes. Let's debug. We are at line number 103 and we print it. Invalid syntax. अब क्या issue हो invalid syntax? I'll have to concatenate, that means. फिर मैं क्या जानने को Johnny. It should be callable. Okay, तो यहाँ callable कुछ नहीं आया, डायरेक्टली रिजल्ट आ चुका है. So this has actually given us a result directly. तो ये पूरा मैं कोर्स में डालता हूँ. A statement to be executed. देखते हैं. Okay. Name is not defined. Let's start debugging. Let's see what's going wrong over here. Invalid syntax. Where am I going wrong?
सर वो सिंगल कोड निकाला नहीं अभी.
नहीं, वो सिंगल कोड नहीं, मल्टी लाइन स्ट्रिंग यूज कर रहा हूँ मैं. कंटिन्यूएशन
Okay.
कैरेक्टर यूज कर रहा हूँ. तो 3 कोड्स और या 1 2 3. We're trying to call method called as format. ये प्रिंट करके देखते हैं क्या है, so that we understand मैसेज क्या जा रहा है. ये अगर है and if I say print my statement, क्या आ गया इसमें स्टेटमेंट में? नेम जॉनी एज 74, फॉर्मेट नेम सो एंड सो इज फॉर्मेट एज %d. It's working. टेस्टिंग में कुछ तो glitch हो रहा है. Just breaking it down into parts so that I can test where the things are going wrong. Testing my name is not defined. Okay. Testing के समय it is saying name is not defined. So name should come as a variable along with that. Where substitution is supposed to take place. Okay. तो इसकी जगह said 31 and Johnny. We are here. The previous statement took 1.80 seconds. The next statement is taking 2.02 seconds. Okay. So while this particular statement, interpolation operator took 1.8 seconds to execute, the function call, since we are calling that function 2 times, and this operation has been repeated 10 lakh times, it has taken 2.027 seconds and so on. So it has taken more time. How about string dot format? So this is your string dot format. How much time does it take to execute the code? Let's see. It has taken 1.77 seconds. So that's slightly better than the function called as format. It is as slow as interpolation operator 1.8 ho, yeah, 1.7 ho, it's almost the same. How about f string? I have name equal to Johnny 874 f string. That is formatted string literal. And if I go on to execute it, let's see how much time it took, 1.4. So that's less than all the previous techniques that we have seen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a breakpoint over here, and till this line, I'll execute the code directly to see the performance, so that it should not wait for me to press the next key and so on. So we run the code till here. Let's see the difference. 1.5 for interpolation operator for the function is taking 2.2. For format, string dot format is again taking 2, slightly lesser than this function string dot format, and this is lesser than all the other styles of formatting. 1.2. This is 1.58. That is almost 1.6 seconds. This is 2.2 seconds, 2.0. And you want to increase the time, you could do that. So here's asking where is the timer? Okay, timer we had not specified. We can add the timer. By default, it was 10 lakh times. You want to increase the time, that's totally up to you. How we could do that? Let's do it. Time it, and I say comma, one is number is equal to, let's say 20 lakhs, 20. Let's add to 10, 20 lakh times वही काम करना है. $20 lakh times करना है. So the time will actually increase. Let's run this code again. अब थोड़ा ज़्यादा टाइम ले रहा है. Yes, 20 lakh times कर रहे हैं. Interpolation operator took 2.73 seconds now. Function took 4.2 seconds. Method took 3.3 seconds. And your fast string will take lesser time. Fast string has taken 3.4 seconds. Okay. क्या गलत हो रहा है? Okay. Let's see. Let's run the code all again and see. .7 seconds for interpolation operator. Function is taking 4.8 seconds. This is 3.2 seconds. And this is taking 2.48 seconds. The interpolation operator is taking lesser time than all other techniques that we have seen. Okay. Point is, how did we use it? Just try and understand how did we use it. So I should say this is using string.format, str.format, whereas this was using formatted string literal, and this was using formatted function. So all the 3 lines. So that's how you have timed it. So you could increase the time, you could decrease the number of repetition, and this again you would like to repeat 10 times. You could just say comma repeat it 10 times. That means 20 lakh times run karo और ये चीज 5 बार repeat करो. So repeat is equal to 5. Repeat is equal to something specified. By default, repeat is 3. In the new version it has changed to 5. I think, but by default it was 3 earlier. Any questions so far?
So sir, it will get multiplied by 5.
Multiplied by 5 10 कहने की जगह effectively multiplied by 5. यानी ये जो execution हुआ है, this statement that has got executed 2 lakh times, 20 lakh times, 20 lakh times, this operation will again happen 5 times.
Okay.
Okay. You could test it on the command prompt as well. And to do that on the command prompt, you could do something like this. Suppose I want to execute it. Let's take an example. Let's go to command prompt. And write this statement. So I'm saying Python 3 -n, time it is a module name, -u milliseconds में चाहिए, हमने कहा string str n मतलब नंबर है आपका, for number in the range 1 to 100 आएगा, 0 to 100, 0 to 99 आएगा. So that has to be joined by using string. That means we'll convert to string and join every number by dash. That is comprehension is what I'm using. तो अगर इसको टाइम इट कर रहे तो Python was not found. Python नहीं मेरे पास. Python 3 नहीं है. Python 3 हम लोग Linux में कहते हैं. Windows में Python है. जो है Python है ना. Terminated string कहाँ खत्म हो गया? Unterminated string. Let's see the content again. Python 3 नहीं है हमारे पास, Python है. Unterminated string कहाँ है? Unterminated string. Let's see. Python -m time it. मिलीसेकंड में चाहिए. यूनिट ऑफ मेजरमेंट आप दे सकते हैं मिलीसेकंड सेकंड जो चाहिए. यहाँ से स्टार्ट हुआ string dot join str of n. सब कुछ तो सही है. Let's do one thing. Let's start in Linux and see. This got executed. So there's some other issue. It says it has taken 5,000 loops and best of 5 कितना था तो 0.21 milliseconds per loop. यानी हर iteration के लिए it has taken 0.21 milliseconds and so on. So you could time it. msec मतलब milliseconds per loop. Milliseconds it has taken. So Python -3. तो milliseconds के लिए -second. And these many nanoseconds, 3.54 into 10 to the power 4. These many nanoseconds. Seconds में इतना कम है तो पढ़ना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है. तो हमें उसका रिपीटेशन बढ़ाना होगा. कहता है 3.5 into 10 raised to -5 seconds per loop. बहुत कम seconds ले रहे हैं. तो इसको रिपीट कर सकते थे. 5,000 की जगह you could have repeated more number of times. तो आपको इसका पैरामीटर चेक करना होगा. 5,000 loops की जगह you could take 5 lakh loops or something like that. But point is you can give the unit of measurement. Millisecond चाहिए, nanosecond चाहिए, second चाहिए, whatever you'd like to have. So you could run it from the command prompt as well. This will be useful for you while you're testing your code that has been written in some other language as well. वहाँ भी आप इसको use कर सकते हैं. Any other language script you could pass over here. If that's executing, it will tell you how much time did it take to execute and so on. Update was pending, so let it take its own sweet time. Background में होने दो इसको update. Let's come back to our code. Now to work with quotation marks. We plan to finish with this today. कोशिश करेंगे खत्म कर लें. Now that we have seen time it. This is a simpler concept now. So we want to display the result and we are more interested in the quotation marks. So let's start debugging the code from here. Taking some time. because आपने 20 lakh times बोला है, तो function took 6 seconds, that took 4 seconds, and your fasting has taken 3.56 seconds. And all the cases, it's always taking lesser time than all other 3 techniques that are there. Okay, let's come to this quotation marks, how to handle quotation marks. Forget about this message. I don't have a message right now. Probably this would वो पुराना message छोड़ो. अब हमने कहा fasting, fasting, John Lever. John Lever को हमने quote में डाला. Here, if I put something like this, it is expecting you to have an expression or expecting you to have a variable name. John is not a variable. Lever is not a variable. You cannot pass 2 variables in one placeholder. It generated an error to generate an error. So if you want the string to be printed as a string, just say John Lever as a string. So when I print this, it will print John Lever without quotes. But if I wanted quotes to be displayed, so I'm using this escape sequence slash and escape sequence slash over here. That means ये जो double slash है, that's only meant for display purpose. ये जो double slash it is meant for display purpose. It is not begin or end of string literal. ये slash का मतलब है ignore the original meaning. They will ignore the original meaning and take this, use these double quotes only for display purpose. So here we go. So Johnny Lever in double quotes आ गया. Now, in F string, I don't have to worry. I can just take combination of double quotes and single quotes. My string literal starts here. My string literal ends over here. Whatever comes inside it, this is the placeholder where the string is being substituted. And if I want quotes, I can directly go ahead using quotes. I don't have to escape it. Here I have escaped it. That's okay. But there is no need in case if I use single quotes and double quotes in combination. Okay, let's see. That same result has got displayed. Same thing. If I put double quotes and then single quotes for display purpose, that means the name Johnny Lever will now get displayed in single quotes. अरे कुछ करना ही नहीं यार, बाहर double quotes डाल दो और अंदर single quotes डाल दो. That will also do the same thing for you. Now I am using multi-line string, triple quotes, Johnny on first line and Lakshman on second line is what I have written. John Lever on first line and Lakshman on second line. तो देखते हैं. John Lever on first line, Lakshman on second line, all of them in quotes. And then instead of using this escape sequence to escape the quotes, जैसे यहाँ ऊपर किया था हमने, we can just use in different combination. क्या किया हमने? Slash John Lever. Oh, that will also display the data. John Lever as a text. Let's see, John Lever. But this is something which is not recommended. अगर करना है तो ये technique use करो. This is the technique that is here recommended to be used. आप ऐसा भी कर सकते हैं, but that's again not recommended to be used. Substitution करना है तो आप इसका इस्तेमाल कीजिएगा. अब अगर आपका स्टार्टिंग भी स्ट्रिंग टर्मिनेशन के लिए भी कोड्स यूज कर रहे हैं और डिस्प्ले के लिए भी कोड्स यूज कर रहे हैं, then that escape sequence becomes compulsory. Escape sequence becomes, because if I had to just put 2 double quotes, it will generate an error. The escape becomes compulsory now. John Lever. If I use string termination के लिए if I'm using double quotes, तो internally आप जो चाहे यूज करो, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. John Lever has been printed. I'm using multi-line string over here to begin and to end, and then John Lever is what I have done. Okay, multi-line string, दो अलग line पे. That also could have been done, but don't do it. If I'm using F string, always use curly braces. Now, if I have a dictionary, name is Saurav Ganguly, age is 47. Key is name and age. Value is Saurav Ganguly and age is value is 47. If I wanted to get the name or the age, I could say player of name, that will give me Saurav Ganguly. Player of weight will generate an error because there is no parameter called as key as weight. It says key error, that is weight. It is generated an error. Okay. So in that case, what comes to our rescue is a get method. So let's jump to this get method. Two seconds for interpolation operator, 4 seconds for format function, string.format के लिए 3 seconds, और आपके लास्ट वाले फॉर्मेट के लिए 2.32 seconds. It's always less. Faster. Here we go. Get, what does get do? Instead of it generating a key error, in case if the key is not found, it will give you none. It will give you none if the key is not found. You can say player.get name. अरे ये तो हमें क्या हुआ है? you can say get name. If the name is not found, say not known. If the weight is not found, then say not known. But if it is found, give me the value. So again, Saurav Ganguly, when the key is not found, it says not none. Why did we do that? Because we can make use of this feature even in formatted string literal. How? The player of name is age, player of age. Name and age keys are there. So it will work correctly. So it will say Ganguly, the player Saurav Ganguly is aged 47. Now I say player name has weight, player of weight. Oh, that will generate an error. Okay. Key error for weight. It did not find that particular key called as weight. So there lies the problem. So if that problem persists, how could you handle it? You could handle it in this fashion. क्या कर सकते थे? You can say player dot get of name is age, player dot get of age. अगर age नहीं मिलता है तो not known. Likewise, in the formatted string literal, you're using this function call player dot get of name, player dot get of weight. अगर नहीं मिलता है तो not known. So I'll jump start directly over here now. Here, ये देखिएगा अभी हम लोग इस लाइन पे हैं. ये भी हमने करके देखा. What has been printed? Player Saurav Ganguly age is 47. That's great. But weight नहीं है. It will no longer generate error. Instead of generating error, it will say player dot name is Saurav Ganguly, weight is not known. So that's a better way to handle it. Next, if I have a variable called as error number, 1, 2, 3, 4 is error, name is Kapil. तो मैंने कहा, hey, name there is error number so and so. I'm saying name Kapil आ जाएगा. There is an error number की जगह की है 1, 2, 3, 4 in decimal format. ऐसे hey Kapil there is 1, 2, 3, 4 error. I say hash x hexadecimal में आ जाएगा. Hey Kapil there is a 0x422D D2 error. Binary. Hey Kapil there is 0B11000 error. What it is? Octal में hey Kapil there is 02322 error. And 10D दोगे तो width आ जाएगा उसके लिए 10. तो ये देखिएगा ये 10 कॉलम के width में आ गया 1, 2, 3, 4 error. Your choice. That means we can inside F string we can do formatting as well. We can use the keyword and the format. Whatever formatting you had learned earlier in the previous style, all those formats can be used. Just to emphasize on the same thing, let's take one more example. Your average score is 45 point something. That's the average score. We say average score displays as it is. Okay. By default, it could have 6-digit precision. अगर यहाँ 6 digit होते तो मैंने कहा नहीं भाई round up कर लो up to 2 digit precision. ये आ गया up to 2 digit precision. मैंने कहा width 10 और उसके अंदर 2 digit precision. देखिएगा width 10 और उसके अंदर 2 digit precision. मैंने कहा यार width 10 चाहिए 2 digit precision चाहिए center line चाहिए. That means it should not be towards right. It should be in the center. आगे in the center blank spaces padded with hash. Blank spaces padded with hash. अब left align चाहिए. ये लो left align. अब right align चाहिए, ये रो right align, आपकी मर्जी. All formatting can be done in F string. Whatever earlier formatting styles that codes that we used for date, time, anything that you had used, all of them can be used. I told you this style of formatting is not recommended. जैसे ये Johnny Lever में भी हमने कहा था, these techniques are not good. ये जो techniques है, ये जो है ना, ये नहीं ये या फिर ये all these are not जहाँ curly braces वो recommended है, but बिना curly braces is not recommended to use. Same thing over here. Name variable है, उसका नाम value राज है, तो आप name करोगे तो name print हो रहा है. I don't want name to be printed. I want this value to be printed. So use placeholder. Placeholder will do substitution. If I say name, if F string of literal name, it will take name as a literal. NAME print करेगा. अगर आप placeholder use करते हो तो name variable की value print करेगा. So that's the reason that Johnny Lever जो प्रिंट कर रहे थे ना वो recommended नहीं था डायरेक्टली. प्लेस होल्डर यूज करो तब जाके सब्स्टिट्यूशन सही तरीके से हो जाएगा. आप देखिएगा राज आ गया तो एफ स्ट्रिंग में बिना प्लेस होल्डर के मैंने नेम कहा, दैट्स जस्ट अ स्ट्रिंग नेम, एंड इफ आई यूज इट इन द प्लेस होल्डर देन इट इज द प्लेस वेयर सब्स्टिट्यूशन हैज टू ऑकर. दैट विल सर्च फॉर अ एक्सप्रेशन और अ वेरिएबल कॉल्ड एज नेम, इट्स वैल्यू विल गेट सब्स्टिट्यूटेड. आई हैव num 10 and 20, वॉच इट वंस अगेन, एंड आई से f of num1, तो num1 ही प्रिंट करेगा. आई से इन कर्ली ब्रेसेस num1 placeholder है, its value 10 will get displayed. तो अगर मैंने कहा था num1 plus num2 is equal to num1 plus num2, वो वही प्रिंट करेगा num1 plus num2 is equal to num1 plus num2. You want the results to be printed, values to be printed together, 10 plus 20 is equal to 30. Use placeholders if you really want to do the substitution. It can be simple variable whose value is to be substituted. It can be expression whose value is to be substituted. Now the last part of our discussion, and we'll stop with that. अगर मैंने 74 डाला है और एक सिंगल कोट्स में डाला है तो एक सिंगल कोट्स कुछ नहीं प्रिंट करेगा, सिर्फ 74 प्रिंट करेगा. दैट्स अ पुअर स्टाइल, नहीं रिकमेंडेड. अगर 74 प्रिंट करना था, पुट 74 इन कोट्स. अगर वो वेरिएबल नहीं वेरिएबल होता तो प्लेस होल्डर में डालते, लिटरल है तो पुट इनटू ब्रैकेट्स. तो आपने कहा डबल कोट्स में 74, ओके, जैसा है वैसे ही प्रिंट होगा. बट अगर आपने ये प्लेस होल्डर्स नेस्टेड लिए, 2 ले लिए, तो इन दैट केस एक प्रिंट हो जाएगा कल 74 में. अगर आपने 3 ले लिए तो इन दैट केस देखते हैं क्या होता है. 3 दे दिए तो आपने तो एक ही प्लेस होल्डर प्रिंट हो रहा है. यानी आपने एक प्लेस होल्डर दिया तो नथिंग गॉट प्रिंटेड, ओनली 74. जब आपने 2 प्लेस होल्डर दे दिए, 2 कर्ली ब्रेसेस दे दिए, तो यहाँ एक प्लेस हो गया. जब 3 दे दिए तो भी एक ही हो रहा है. जब 4 दोगे आप तो 2 हो जाएंगे, बिकॉज 2 कर्ली ब्रेसेस स्टैंड फॉर 1 ब्रेस. ओके, तो लाइकवाइज अगर आपने यहाँ 1 2 3 4 5 दे दिए, कितने हैं यहाँ काउंट करते हैं, 1 2 3 4 है. ओके, नहीं वो तो हो गया. अब यहाँ 5 दे दिए, 5 दिए तो भी 2 ही आएंगे, 2 ब्रेसेस स्टैंड फॉर सिंगल ब्रेस. तो यहाँ आपने 6 दे दिए तो 3 आ जाएंगे. तो कीप दैट थिंग इन माइंड. अब मेरे पास एक डिक्शनरी है, बॉबी है जिसका रोल नंबर है, अविनाश समझो इसका कोई तो एम्प्लॉय आईडी है, अविनाश का ये एम्प्लॉय आईडी है, गौरव का ये एम्प्लॉय आईडी है. देयर आर 3 कीज एंड करस्पॉन्डिंग वैल्यूज. आई से फॉर नेम आईडी इन टेबल डॉट आइटम्स. नाउ व्हेन आई से आइटम आई विल गेट द एंटायर पेयर 1 2 3. पहले केस में बॉबी इज द नेम, एम्प्लॉय आईडी इज 4127. तो आई गॉट द आइटम. तो नेम इज द की, एम्प्लॉय आईडी इज अ वैल्यू का एक दूसरा वेरिएबल है. तो मैंने कहा नेम 10 कॉलम विड्थ में प्रिंट करो, एम्प्लॉय आईडी 10 कॉलम विड्थ में डेसिमल फॉर्मेट में प्रिंट करो. स्ट्रिंग एस कहने की जरूरत नहीं, कह सकते थे यार 10s, दैट विल आल्सो वर्क, बट 10d कहना जरूरी है. नंबर के लिए डेसिमल कहना जरूरी है, अदरवाइज इट विल टेक इट एज अ स्ट्रिंग. ये आ गया बॉबी 27. अगली बार इट विल बी अविनाश so and so, अगली बार इट विल बी गौरव so and so. ऑल द वैल्यूज हैव बीन प्रिंटेड. नाउ आई कुड हैंडल दिस इन अ स्लाइटली डिफरेंट फैशन. क्या कहता मैं, name employee ID in table items, ये जो formatted string है, don't display it onto the console, send it to this file called as aman.txt in append mode. यानी मेरे पास डेस्कटॉप पे कहीं तो ये ड्राइव में aman.txt नाम की फाइल है. तो let's go to that location and see do we really have a file called as aman.txt. Suppose that was /python cd programs. We have aman, टाइप कर दे रहा है aman.txt. इस फाइल में ऑलरेडी डेटा है, 3 लाइंस का डेटा है, बॉबी अविनाश गौरव, ये ऑलरेडी है. अब जब मैं ए कह रहा हूँ, ए का मतलब है इसी फाइल में दोबारा अपडेट अपेंड कीजिएगा. तो वी आर ओपनिंग अ फाइल कॉल्ड एज aman.txt और अपेंडिंग द डेटा टू द एंड ऑफ दैट फाइल. वॉच इट, 3 रिकॉर्ड्स थे उसमें. अब इस फाइल में ये पहला रिकॉर्ड राइट हुआ, दूसरा रिकॉर्ड राइट हुआ, तीसरा रिकॉर्ड राइट हुआ. कंसोल पे कुछ नहीं आ रहा है इफ यू नोट, बट इफ यू गो एंड सी द फाइल, और ये प्रोग्राम खत्म हो चुका है आपका. और अभी फाइल में जाके देखते हैं क्या हुआ है. यार आई गो, यहाँ 6 रिकॉर्ड्स आ गए. दैट मींस इट हैज गॉन अहेड अपेंडिंग द डेटा टू फाइल. पॉइंट दैट आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक इज, जो आप फॉर्मेटिंग कर रहे हो वो सिर्फ कंसोल पे जाने के लिए नहीं है, इट कैन आल्सो गो टू द फाइल. आपने कहना है ये मेरा फॉर्मेट स्ट्रिंग लिटरल है, प्रिंट को कह रहे हैं और प्रिंट कह रहा है आउटपुट शुड बी सेंड टू दिस पर्टिकुलर फाइल. दैट्स हाउ यू कुड वर्क विद फॉर्मेट स्ट्रिंग लिटरल्स. सो टुडे वी कवर्ड अप द 2 styles. Tomorrow we'll look into your assignments that you have submitted, and also the last style of formatting that I used in only very few cases called as templatized string. So that I'll explore today, tomorrow. आज के लिए आपके लिए assignment क्या है, time it module को explore कीजिएगा. तो explore module called as time it for today. I'm just sharing this last file that we have taken, example that we have taken, so that will be for your reference. Monica is asking question, if formatting method 1 is faster than 2 and 3, why were 2 and 3 invented? It was not just about the speed, it is also convenience. Interpolation operator is very difficult to use, too lengthy. Okay, it doesn't give you the exact understanding वो sequence जो लीला कुलकर्णी का example दिया था हमने. We have to keep a track. First parameter, first format specified with the first parameter, second with the second one. So that is difficult to use it. We wanted to have more convenient way. So it's not always speed, it's also convenience. So the second and third style of formatting, string.format and method format, were introduced only for sake of convenience. It was not about speed. And the latest style is both speed as well as convenience.
Okay, sir.
I have received this fourth file, formatting 4.py.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So good that almost all of you stayed back. Only one fellow has dropped out. Piyush has dropped out. Okay. So see you tomorrow. Explore timeit. जरा explore कर लीजिएगा मोडी. And कल one templatized string is first I'll discuss, and second I'll look into your assignments that were given. Let's see whether, and if you can use today's technique and rewrite that assignment, that will be all the better. तो आज का टेक्निक यूज करते हुए उसी असाइनमेंट को रीराइट कीजिएगा जहां आपने टेबल प्रिंट किया था. यूज फॉर्मेटेड स्ट्रिंग लिटरल. तो गिव मी 2 सबमिशंस. एक जो आपके पास ओरिजिनल है एंड दैट द सेम वन हैज बीन रिवाइज्ड रीरिटन यूजिंग फॉर्मेटेड स्ट्रिंग लिटरल. तो हर एक जन वही प्रोग्राम में 2 बार प्रिंट करो. वन इज यूजिंग द ओल्डर स्टाइल, other is using the new style. That's the code that we'll look into tomorrow when we meet. So with that note, we'll stop here today. See you tomorrow at same time. Take care. Love you all. Bye-bye.